Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My dear students, in this lesson we are going to discuss regarding the exam paper I gave you. I gave you a 50 MCQ paper. One by one we are going to discuss those questions. The only thing it is all the questions cannot be discussed at a stretch at once. The main reason uh, discussion or theory is a boring portion. So I hope to discuss these ones part by part, portion by portion. According to my convenience, I would be discussing these ones and would be uploading these components to you. So in that way, first of all, let us take the first question. The first question you children have been given: who is the biologist who coined the term called cell? According to the resource book, certain biologists and their names and their contributions on cell have been given to you. One is Mr. Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke observed a piece of coke. Robert Hooke observed a piece of coke using a simple microscope and noticed the basic units of life for the first time. And he was the man who gave the word called cell to the basic units of organisms. So according to this one, for the first question, you can pick the first answer. Robert Hooke is your answer. The second person given to you is Anton van Leeuwenhoek. In the case of Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he is the person who first to describe and record living single-celled organisms. Living single-celled organisms, unicellular organisms were described by Anton van Leeuwenhoek. He was able to observe Euglena, bacteria-like unicellular organisms. Anton van Leeuwenhoek is described as the father of microbiology. After Anton van Leeuwenhoek observed microorganisms, the field called microbiology started to develop. So in microbiology, Anton van Leeuwenhoek has a very bigger contribution. The third person you are mentioned is Matthias Schleden. Matthias Schleden is a botanist. He studied plant tissues. Studying plant tissues, his personal opinion, he gave us an opinion, all plants are made up of cells. So in exam paper, if you are questioned, what is the opinion or what is the conclusion of Matthias Schleden, you have to point out all plants are made up of cells. At the same time, Theodore Quandt, the fourth person in the question is Theodore Quandt. He studied animal tissues. He is a zoologist. He studied animal tissues and he concluded animal tissues are made up of cells. And the final person is Rudolf Virchow. Rudolf Virchow concluded all cells arise from pre-existing cells by cell division. So you should know their individual opinions. Matthias Clayton's opinion, all plants are made up of cells. Theodore Schwann's opinion, animal tissues are made up of cells. Rudolf Virchow's opinion, all cells arise from pre-existing cells by cell division. So with this knowledge, you are able to answer the first question. The person who coined the term called cell is Robert Hooke. As well, the second question, the biologist who first described unicellular, single-celled organisms and recorded them, and that is Anton van Leeuwenhoek. Okay, coming to question number 3. Which of the following is not included in cell theory? In the resource book, you have been given the contents of cell theory. It's given to you in 3 points. When 3 it is questioned to you, you have to write in this pattern. The first one, all organisms are composed of one or more cells. Second one, the basic structural and functional unit of organisms is the cell. Third one, all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Cell theory, it's a collective effort of Matthias Clayton, Theodor Schwann, and Rudolf Virchow. All 3 together presented us the cell theory. If it is required, we can split the second point into 2, like the basic structural unit of organisms is the cell, the basic functional unit of organisms is the cell. If required, we can break it and make it to 4 points. So in the cell theory, when all these 3 points are there, look at the question. In the question, first point, all organisms are composed of one or more cells. It is there. The basic structural unit of organism is cell. There. The basic functional unit of organisms is cell. It is also there. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Rudolf Virchow's opinion, it is there. So the not included part, it is all cells are microscopic. Here I want to tell you an important point. The main point it is all cells are not microscopic. For simple example, if you take human ovum has a size 0.1 millimeter. 0.1 millimeter is a size visible to human naked eye. If we take chick ovum, it is nearly 2 centimeter in diameter. It's a bigger one. The yellow yolk you notice inside a chick egg it's a single cell. So all the cells are not microscopic. They are macroscopic, visible to naked eye cells are there. Okay, so pointing, although it's not a part of cell theory, pointing all cells are microscopic is a wrong opinion. Okay, coming to the fourth question. In the fourth question, you children are pointed, which one of the following can be noticed in all prokaryotic cells? In it, the first thing you are pointed about flagella, right? Certain points regarding prokaryotic flagella you should know. Prokaryotic flagella. I am not speaking about eukaryotic flagella. I'm speaking about prokaryotic flagella. In the case of prokaryotic flagella, it is made of protein filaments. It is made of protein filaments. That is one idea you should know. Second, in prokaryotic flagella, no microtubules. In prokaryotic flagella, no 9+2 structure. In prokaryotic flagella, no membrane boundary. And finally, prokaryotic flagella can be noticed in some bacteria and some archaebacteria. In some bacteria and some archaebacteria, you can notice prokaryotic flagella, and you don't notice prokaryotic flagella, okay, not found in cyanobacteria. You don't find it in cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria don't have flagella. So prokaryotic flagella, you should know these details regarding prokaryotic flagella. So flagella is not a compulsory component in all the prokaryotic organisms. Very good example is cyanobacteria. Right, so that's regarding prokaryotic flagella. So completing prokaryotic flagella, you come to the second one, prokaryotic cell wall. Prokaryotic cell wall. So if we consider prokaryotic cell wall, one point, some have peptidoglycan as their cell wall component. Some prokaryotes have peptidoglycan as their cell wall component. The example it is domain bacteria members. Domain bacteria members have peptidoglycan as their cell wall component. Some prokaryotes have, some have proteins and polysaccharides as their cell wall components. That is domain archaea members. Domain archaea members have proteins and polysaccharides as their cell wall components. Remember, in prokaryotic cell wall, no cellulose can be noticed. And further, some prokaryotes, okay, some prokaryotes lack cell wall. And such prokaryotes, such bacteria that doesn't have cell wall are called molecules. It is your syllabus. Molecules. Moly mean soft, cute means skin. So to mean they are soft skinned without cell wall because of plasma membrane, they are soft skinned. We call them by the word molecules. So these ideas are important for you regarding prokaryotic cell wall, right? So the first statement, flagella not found in all the prokaryotes. The second component, cell wall not found in all the prokaryotes. Now we come to the third one. Third one is cytoplasm. In the case of cytoplasm, any living cell, if we take any living cell, should have four basic components. Okay, without them, a living cell is not possible. A living cell is not possible without those 4 basic components. And one, it is cytoplasm. If you don't notice cytoplasm, it's not a living cell, my children. It's a dead cell then. And that second, it is plasma membrane, or otherwise you can call it cell membrane. The third component is a DNA, a genetic material, DNA, and the fourth one is ribosomes. Any living cell definitely would have, whether it is prokaryotic or eukaryotic, never mind. These 4 components will be there. So cytoplasm should be there in all the living organisms. So it is going to be your answer, the third answer. Right. So once you come back to the question, the fourth answer, cytoskeleton, is noticed only in eukaryotic cells. The fifth answer, glyoxysomes, it is also noticed in eukaryotic cells. On this basis, we make the decision third answer as the correct answer for the fourth question. And finally, the fifth question, choose the incorrect statement regarding prokaryotic cells. The first statement says all prokaryotic cells have 70 S-type ribosomes. Of course, all prokaryotic cells have 70 S-type ribosome. 80 S-type ribosome can be noticed only in eukaryotic cells. So first statement is a correct statement. Second statement, all prokaryotic cells have peptidoglycan in cell wall. You children know in the prokaryotic organisms, archaebacteria, they don't have peptidoglycans in cell wall. Instead, they have proteins and polysaccharides in cell wall. So second statement, all prokaryotes have peptidoglycan in cell wall, is a wrong statement. Third one, now only we discussed, all prokaryotic cells lack cytoskeleton. Of course, cytoskeleton is a eukaryotic character. Fourth one also same. All prokaryotic cells lack membrane-bound subcellular components. True. Membrane-bound subcellular components are also eukaryotic character. And finally, all prokaryotic cells have phospholipids in cell membrane. Any cell membrane contains phospholipid, whether it is prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, any cell membrane contains phospholipids. So conformly, prokaryotic cell plasma membrane also contains phospholipids. As I told you, the discussion will be part by part, not at a stretch discussing all 50 questions. So it's not easy for you to concentrate. It's not easy for myself to submit. So inshallah, I will again come back to you with a new recording for the rest of the questions. Thank you very much. Bye.